I needed to use the restroom. So thank you all for waiting.
It happens. It reminds me of the airport in Germany.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Do you want to tell everyone what you're talking about?
Yeah, so when we landed in Germany, they have this new passport check thing for people who aren't EU citizens. And we were the first people off the plane, and we could have been first in line. Gone right through and dealt with our, gone right to baggage claim, whatever, and been done with it. But Miss Andrea needed to use the restroom, so she went in to use the restroom, and then 3 planes went ahead of us, and we ended up standing in line for like over an hour.
Over an hour, yeah. And the whole time you were just kind of looking at me like...
So her bladder causes us a lot.
It does, actually. Hey, John, good to see you. 1 to 2 inches of snow in Cincinnati. That's crazy. That I do not miss that about Cincinnati at all. So just a couple weeks ago, they had like 60-degree weather. It was beautiful. And then like a week before that, it was like single digits. And now it looks like they're expecting snow again. It's just...
That happens everywhere. I mean, like today we had
Not here, though. The weather here is way more consistent than Cincinnati.
I disagree.
Oh.
We had a beautiful day today.
Yeah.
But I remember last year we had days like this, and then we had that incredible like freeze and snowstorm in March that killed all my apple blossoms.
It was way more fickle in Cincinnati. Like you could have every season and every type of precipitation in one single day.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that is kind of a Midwest thing, Ohio.
Next weekend, 70. So 2 inches today, 70 degrees next weekend.
Yeah. So it was beautiful here today, but like next week it could be snowing.
Yeah, I don't know. That the weather here stays consistent much more. It's like the next week it says like it's going to be like 50s every day, partly cloudy.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
All right, Alessi Scrabble Buddy, good to see you.
Thanks for joining us. Always love having you here with us.
Europats, hello.
Europats. Recently we were on their channel, and that was a lot of fun.
That was so much fun, and it also had us thinking. We would love to do more collaborative live streams, or we could have people on with us as well.
Yeah, we definitely need to do more of that. They did everything on their end. They have a different program they use. They don't just do it through
they're
YouTube.
Fancy.
So we need to up our tech game and figure out how to do all that stuff. So yeah, welcome everybody. You got Andrea, me, and this cat right here that's just taking a nap behind us.
Yeah.
So.
And Rico.
And where's Rico at?
Rico's here.
And I got Rico, of course. We always have Rico. Rico pretty much runs the show.
He does.
We basically work for him. So yeah, that's how things go here. So yeah, welcome everybody. Should we get right into it? Or
sure.
Want to talk about anything else? Or
no.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about hiking in Albania. Let me get you a little bit more in frame.
Oh, sorry. I'm scooting back and forth. You're
always out of frame, babe.
Yeah.
You're always moving.
I'm antsy, and I start scooting back and forth. Yeah.
I wanted to make sure we kept our cat friend in there. But
yeah.
I don't know this cat's. Andrea and I have been watching this cat slowly grow up, and it was just a tiny little kitten when we first started coming here. If my parents are on, they've met the cat as well, and it's about doubled in size since then.
Yeah.
Still very cute.
Like teenager size.
Yeah, but we don't even know the cat's name. It might not even have a name. Like
I'm sure it does.
That's kind of a thing for Albanian cats. It probably doesn't have a name, but yeah, I digress anyway. So yeah, we're going to talk about hiking today. In the comments, how many people here are actually in Albania? I'm not sure where Alyssa Scrabble Buddy lives. I can't remember. I know she's chimed in before about it, but it's hard to keep everyone straight. I know John is in Ohio, obviously, because he's getting snowed on. And the Europats are in Texas, I believe, correct? Yep. And I don't know if my parents are on or not. So, yeah, and how many of you are interested in hiking here? So that's the other thing I'm curious about. It's a great place to go hiking. We love hiking here. It can be a little weird in terms of like the trails. Like
there's some things to know about it.
There are definitely some things to know about it, and we'll go over some of that. Well, first of all, we'll talk about like finding the trails. So There are a couple of different apps you can use. What's the one we usually use? The one that you
So I use All Trails
All
a lot.
Trails,
I
yeah.
like that one because I can track our whole trail, and then they have this cool like 3D feature where you can kind of like see where you went, and I use it for my videos. So that's like $40 a year. But they do have a free version as well that navigates really well.
Yeah. But it doesn't track all your, like, it doesn't save your tracks and all that.
No, you can, even with the free version.
Okay.
The only thing that I'm paying for is that 3D,
the 3D
overview.
Map.
Yeah, I think that's really cool.
That is really cool. That's a nice thing to have, especially if you're making videos on your hiking here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not super up to date with the trails, and I've even tried submitting some of our hikes to try to update their maps.
Right.
And they've never accepted them, and I don't know why.
They probably need like multiple people to do it in order to confirm that it's real.
Yeah.
Because anybody can just walk anywhere and create a fake trail. And then someone can get lost, or
well,
maybe
you
some
can certainly get lost now.
Yeah, that's for sure. And what's the other app? The one that actually works better here?
Wikiloc.
Wikiloc
has a lot more trails, and that one it looks like anyone can update a trail, and there's a lot more on there. Some of them are pretty outdated as well, like really old, but it's been reliable.
Yeah. So that's if you're looking for trails in Albania, those are the two main sources to look at online. With Wikiloc being probably the most comprehensive for hikes here in Albania.
Yeah.
And you'll even see on some of the trail marker signs, they'll have a Wikiloc logo.
Oh, yeah.
Link to it, a little QR
code.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another thing. Like, Albania is really kind of upping their game for this kind of outdoor recreational thing. I don't know a lot of Albanians that hike, but they certainly are aware that there are a lot of foreigners coming here to go hiking.
Yeah, there's a few of them that we know, like the guy that runs the tour company. I can think of his name. But he takes people on hikes. Yeah, there's a few of them.
Yeah, sometimes you'll tell an Albanian, I like to go hiking, and they'd be like, why? Like, you do that like if you have to walk the sheep and stuff. Like, it's not something you do recreationally, but it is obviously something we Westerners really enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And they are certainly expanding on that and picking up on it, and you are beginning to see a lot more trails and so forth that are being marked. And by the way, we're at Sherlock's again. We didn't even plug where we're at. So,
thank you to Sherlock's for letting us host our live streams here. This Sunday night's a nice night for us to do it here. It's pretty quiet. There's a lot of nights where it's kind of a hopping place, but this evening it's really chill.
We're going to try and maybe expand on that a little bit, do more of our live streams from remote places. So you're not just staring at Andrea or my wall, behind us. This is a little bit nicer background. You got the cat.
You have a cat.
Yeah, so it makes it nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sorry, I digressed again. And so Albania is really pushing on their, making trails more accessible. They're being better marked. And it's one of the things that kind of surprised me is you will actually find some of the more popular trailheads. There will be a kiosk, and it'll have a map, and it'll have a description, and some of the points of interest and so forth.
Yeah.
And maybe even some history depending on where the trail is and what kind of things you see on it. And there's actually several trails here in Koberdets that has that. There's the waterfall. I can't think of the name of it.
Well, it's the Kabash Trail, but the waterfall is actually not on the Kabash Trail. The first leg we do is part of the Kabash Trail. Then we go off, and it's another trail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Does that even have a name? Do you know?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
So the Kabash Trail is the one that ends with that big rock. Remember the one time that I got chased by the dog?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember that, of course.
That's that trail that comes up on the other side where we were baking in the sun. That's the Kabash Trail.
That's a really, really nice trail.
It's beautiful.
That's absolutely gorgeous.
It
has some historical sites on it, and there's a cool rock formation, which is what she was just talking about.
Some amazing views once you get up there.
Yeah.
But on the way back from that trail, as has happened on many of our trails, there's a part where we always end up getting lost and kind of falling off trail, where like the trail markers just aren't quite adequate, in my opinion.
Yeah, so that's definitely one of the funny things we've noticed. So they are like
It's not funny in the moment.
It's not
We've
funny.
been lost a few times.
But it's okay because it's one of the good things about Albania is it's mountainous. So like you're never really lost. It's like worst case scenario, you bushwhack till you get to the stream and then you hike down the valley.
Yeah.
Because like
the
topography will guide you.
It does.
Like, so you're never really lost. But there are times where it's like, oh, it'd be easier if like the trail was better marked. And here's the problem is you'll have a really nice trail, but then a lot of like goat herders and sheep herders and stuff like that are up in the mountains and they are creating other trails. So sometimes you'll get to a spot and it'll be like 3 or 4 trails come together and you don't know exactly which one is the one you're supposed to stay on. And that's something we've confronted a few times. And that's when it's nice to have all trails or the wiki locks where you can kind of bring your phone and if you have connection, you can look and you can see it's like, oh, okay, well, we want to go this way. And then you go a little ways and check again and make sure that your little dot is on the trail that's represented on their map.
And the nice thing with all trails is we've been able to maintain connection almost everywhere. We have lost connection for a few minutes periodically, but most of these trails that we've been on, we've been able to stay connected.
And usually, this is something about the paid version too that I think is different than the free version. Is you can actually pre-download the map, so even if you lose connectivity, you'll still have the topographic map and it'll show you the trail. Whereas with the free version, I don't think you can do that. I think you can only use it online.
Gotcha.
So that's a pretty important
We've never used that.
No, and we should
have
just for safety reasons. But again, like I've never felt like there's been plenty of times where we've lost a trail or been off trail, and I never am concerned because we can use the topography to guide us. Like worst case scenario, you hike down to the valley and then you're going to be back in town. Like
I don't know. We've had some sketchy moments. So there's 2 times where we got lost. There was one time that you and I got lost. It was one of our first hikes together over on the one over by Tushimish, and we had a hard time finding our way towards the end of that trail.
We had to really bushwhack, but I mean, we were again, quote unquote, lost, but not like in a sense like, oh, I never felt like we were in any kind of trouble.
Yeah,
it's like
we weren't gonna die.
You're going to eventually, if you just keep going downhill, you're going to hit a road or something that will take you back to town. So that's never been too big of a concern for us.
Yeah.
But one thing we've definitely noticed, and it's kind of comical, like you'll be on the trail that's really well defined and there aren't any other trails, and there will be a trail marker that'll have the name of the trail and everything on it and an arrow. And then you'll be in a point that's not well defined and there'll be multiple trails coming together and there'll be no markers.
There's no markers. So it's like the places where you really need them. But then you have trails like the Mali EST. Well, that's on the other side of the border. But there's so many trail markers.
Yeah.
Like we joke that they got paid per trail marker because there'll be like 5 of them in one spot.
So what she's talking about is Mali EST, and that's in the national park on the other side of the border in North Macedonia. Part of it's also in Albania as well. That mountain, it's a big mountain. It runs both borders.
Yeah.
I think part of it probably even dips into Greece. But so that's really well marked because you're in a national park. And like like she said, extraordinarily well marked. You're not going to get lost there.
Ridiculously well marked.
It's also very well traveled. And there aren't, because it's in a national park, you don't have the same agriculture. So you don't have sheep herders and goat herders using it as much. So the trail is pretty much the trail.
Yeah, it's pretty wide open too. Like it's not like after a certain level, you're not bushwhacking. You're not in the woods anymore. It's wide, like there's no trees. You can see really well.
Yeah, so those of you who follow my channel and Andrea's channel or follow us on Facebook, you'll see the big mountain here on the east coast of the lake is Mali EST, and half of it's alpine. So you get up above the tree line and it's wide open. There's nothing but some bushes, and so
you
can see you can see 3 countries away. You can see Greece and North Macedonia.
You can see both lakes. Yeah. So some people might not be aware. Like we're on Lake Ohrid, but when you get up on the mountain, there's like Crespa on the other side of the mountain, and when you can see both lakes, that is just the best. Oh, it's such a cool hike.
Yeah, it is really amazing. So when you're in a national park, you're going to find the trails are going to be really well defined. At least that's what we found on the North Macedonia side. I don't think I've ever been hiking in an Albanian national park. Other than like Julian, but that doesn't count because that's really small.
Yeah.
That's extremely well marked. In fact, most of it's paved. So.
Yeah, I can't think. What about Mount Dottie? Is that a national?
I haven't been
national
to
park?
that one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So that's one of the first hikes that I did here, and I got into a really dangerous situation. And part of it was because the map that I was using was not updated, and part of the trail did basically I got lost on the mountain, and that was a reasonably dangerous hike.
And that's near Tirana?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where the cable cars are. So instead of taking the cable car up, I had the great idea of hiking up.
Yeah.
That was before I really knew the trails here and realized that they're not going to be marked the same way they are in the U.S. Where in the U.S., it's pretty reliable. It's pretty easy to find a well-marked trail.
For the most part.
And to find them, on things like All Trails. But yeah, I was using an old map. It might have been All Trails too. But again, it just wasn't up to date. And there had been landslides that took out the trail. And I didn't have enough water and resources to hike back. So I had to kind of push through, even though I was lost in the mountain, in hopes that I was going to make it to the top where I knew I'd be able to get water. And that got a little scary.
Yeah, for sure. And there are places in the U.S. like, I came here from Maine and a lot of hiking in the New Hampshire area. And every year, a couple people die up there because they get lost. And it's usually when it's really cold weather, they take the wrong path and end up off trail, and then they get lost somewhere and then freeze to death. And that happens a couple people every year for a while there. So you're gonna, you'll run into.
There's always danger.
Yeah, there's always danger, and we're gonna get into some of that, like some of the precautions you should take when you hike here as well. But I've been noticing there's been some questions popping up.
My computer is not staying online very well, and I think it's my connection to the internet. I think we're still connected on here.
Yeah, we're doing fine on there because that's on my.
The Europats have asked, have we ever encountered snakes?
Yeah, the only snakes we've ever seen have been like water snakes.
Yeah.
We've encountered those a few times.
It's interesting because we looked that up when we first moved here. We're like, okay, we want to know what kind of critters or any dangerous things we might encounter. And there are like poisonous snakes. There's a couple different types of vipers.
Yeah.
We have never seen a snake on the trail.
Yeah, other than the water snakes and
we've seen water snakes, but I mean, we've been crawling through the woods, like serious bushwhacking. We've never seen a snake.
Somebody also, I don't know where the comment went, but asked about like poison ivy or something like. Oh, here we go. Do you need to wear long sleeves and long pants like you do in the U.S. to avoid poison ivy and ticks? No, we've done a lot of like bushwhacking off trail because we've had to, and I'm not aware of anything like poison ivy or poison sumac. There are ticks here.
We've never had them though. Like I've seen them on animals. But never on us. And I mean, we've swam through the wood. I mean, there were times where the woods were so thick around us. I was like, I was just so certain we were going to be covered in ticks. Not one.
A lot of ticks are very host specific. So this is kind of the same thing in Maine, where I used to do rabbit surveys when I worked for U.S. Fish and Wildlife, and we would we'd catch these wild rabbits and they'd have tons of ticks, but we would never ever get ticks on us because the ticks were very specific to deer or to rabbits and things like that. And I don't think I ever got a tick in Maine. My dogs would get them sometimes, and rabbits were like covered in them.
Yeah.
No, we haven't ever experienced ticks, and I don't know of any poison ivy or poison sumac here.
I can't think of anything that we've touched that has been. Well, there's those there's some kind of nettle or something that I touched once that burned.
There's lots of stinging nettle.
We
have a lot of stinging nettle. Well, that tends to only grow in like disturbed areas, so not in like older growth forest, but mostly in. I mean, I get it all around the house, and actually, you can collect it if you wear gloves. You can collect the stinging nettle and cook it. It's actually really good. It's like a staple food here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I buy the tea.
Yeah.
We haven't made it.
So once you boil it, the stinging goes away. And stinging nettle, actually, people make completely losing my train of thought. Barrek. It's like.
Oh, that's cool.
Once you boil it, it's like a spinach.
Oh, interesting.
And then people will mix it with cheese, and I've got it growing all around my house. And this year, I'm going to harvest it.
And I'm buying it from the store.
Make some stuff, and you're buying it from the store and making tea with it, right?
Yeah.
So So stinging nettle would be the only thing that I would be aware of that would be an issue like that. And stinging nettle is not like poison ivy or sumac where you get like a rash and it lasts for days. It's something where you brush up against it and it like burns, but within like 20 minutes, it's completely gone. Like it's a very different kind of chemical reaction.
Alessa's Scrabble Buddy has a good question. Would you consider it unsafe to hike with a dog in Albania?
Okay, well, this is one of the things we were going to bring up later, just in terms of dogs in general. So something you experience quite often here is, like I was saying, you'll be on a well-marked trail, and then there'll be mixed trails because there's lots of goat and sheep herders that are in the mountains and take their animals up there to graze. And the sheep and goat herders often have dogs to protect their flocks, and they can be somewhat aggressive.
Yeah, they've come at us a few times, but never to the point where they've actually bitten us or attacked us, but gotten pretty close a couple of times.
Yeah, and like you can imagine, having your own dog with you could be even more of a problem.
It could be more, yeah.
And we have hiked with a dog before, and it like you weren't with me. I was alone, actually. I was out foraging for herbs.
Yeah, we took her a couple times together, too.
And we did, but we didn't experience dogs any of those times. It was only the time I was alone that I really had
Isn't there one? No, there was one time when we came across a bunch of goats, and we had to pass them, and they had dogs.
Yeah, but we didn't have Victoria with us then.
I thought we did.
No, the only time I was ever had Victoria with us, or I was with her, I was out foraging for oregano and stuff, which is one of the really cool things you can do here. You go up into the mountains, and there's all sorts of wild herbs that you can collect. So I was like, oh,
Valentino loves his hikes on the beach.
Yeah, the beach is probably a bit more safe. But is it a stolen dog? Yes, it is the stolen dog. So I was like, oh, I'm going to go out and forage some herbs for Andrea and I, and take the dog and take her for a walk. And I went up into the mountains, and a couple of dogs got really close to the point where I picked up a rock and was like thinking I was going to have to bludgeon one of these dogs. And the herder was like kind of up on the mountain. He was a couple, probably a good 50 or maybe 30 meters in altitude above me, up on the hill with his flock, and the dogs came running down to chase off Victoria and I. Victoria's the dog, my stolen dog, and it was very tense. I kept Victoria behind me, and I was ready to fend off the dogs, which I'm never really nervous about. It's like dogs don't scare me too much, but when there was like two, and maybe even three of them, and then I've got her, and I'm worried about her getting involved.
It's making the situation really unpredictable.
It makes it very unpredictable. And, and the herder's up there, up on the hill, and he's picking up rocks and throwing them at his own dogs and yelling at them.
That's the nice thing is, in every situation we've had with dogs, the herders quickly jump in to try to get the dog away from you.
Yeah.
They certainly try to help, but, the dogs are there to scare things away.
Yeah, so it's definitely been an issue. I've been hiking before I met you, like before I even moved here. When I was visiting once, I was in Eurocaster, and I was hiking to this ancient bridge, and there was a sheep herder, like again, way down in the valley. Like I could see him, and his dogs ran all the way up the hill to like bark at me, and they got within 10 feet of me.
Yeah, that's scary.
And it was and then they stopped and they just sat there and barked at me. And I didn't really feel like I was in danger, but I wasn't turning my back on them either.
Yeah.
So I had to kind of slowly back away until they finally got tired of barking at me and ran back down to their flock.
We've had, Jesse and I have had a few situations like that where it was, they got close, but we approached cautiously, or we turned around and walked away slowly. And that's when we ended up buying the bear spray, was mainly for the dogs. We've never had to use it, but it does make me feel a lot better to have the bear spray on us, just in case. Because my biggest fear is, what if we just accidentally sneak up on one, and then we're just too close for comfort, and we get bit or something. We need to be prepared.
So that was going to be my
I keep jumping ahead, sorry.
No, it's fine. Transition into it perfectly. So that's one of the things that we do for safety, is we purchase some bear spray, and we carry that with us.
Yeah.
Just to be extra safe. Now, look, lots of people hike here. Like I said, that Albania has really done a lot of work to promote some hiking and mark trails well, and put kiosks at trailheads and stuff like that to promote the activity. I've never heard of anybody ever being attacked, but that doesn't mean it hasn't happened.
Right. Never heard of it, and it hasn't happened to us, and we've had a lot of encounters with dogs.
I would say probably 60% of our hikes, we've come across dogs at some point. And almost
They usually just bark at you from a distance.
right. And always with a shepherd. I don't think we've ever come across them. You did with Jesse once.
We did, and I didn't actually see them. It is possible that there was a shepherd nearby somewhere. That was the turning point. At that point, I was like, we're getting bear spray, or we're never. Before I was going to hike again, because they were really aggressive, and there was 3 of them, and we were in the middle of the woods.
Yeah, so I don't think there's ever been stray dogs that we've come across, unless those were. But I think even I would bet that there was probably sheep
There's
nearby. So I mean, it's an issue, but also it's nothing we've ever heard of anybody having a problem with, other than being a little scared or uneasy about it.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing, is just be mentally prepared and don't freak out. As long as you're acting calm, and once they're barking at you, don't continue approaching them. Back away.
Stand your ground and back away. Don't
turn and run.
Right.
We've never done that. That might not go well.
It's always been lots of bark and no bite.
Yeah.
But
there was that one time. Do you remember on the hike with the rock formation, Guri Camias?
Oh, yeah,
when we were coming down, we saw a herder with 3 dogs, like 3 big dogs. I'm like, oh shoot!
And we were like we've experienced dogs before, so we were already like,
nervous. Yeah. They were the cuddliest. They ran up to us and were cuddling us and jumping on us, and like they were so sweet. Like, and they started following us. I'm like, we could just take these dogs home.
Yeah. They were ready to leave the herder for us. They completely abandoned the sheep and just wanted to hang out.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've had really positive encounters.
We've had some very positive encounters with dogs. Most of our encounters with dogs in general in Albania are very positive.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to say is in the woods and on the trails, all the dogs we've encountered have been associated with a flock of sheep or with herders. You do have a lot of stray dogs in Albania, but you experience them in town.
Yeah.
Like in Pogradec, where we have lots of stray dogs, and they're all very, very friendly. Never had any issues with any of the stray dogs here. We even have a couple that have names that are like kind of well known in the community. People take care of them and leave food and water out for them, and they'll make little cardboard beds and stuff for them. So,
we saw a couple running around today playing together. I mean, they're all pretty sweet. Now, when you were walking Victoria, you had trouble once.
That's the thing, but this is the big but. Everything can change when you're walking your own dog.
Yeah.
I was walking Victoria through the villages once, not through my village, but one of my neighboring villages. I was actually bringing her to your house. I was going through a strange village, and she was attacked by another dog, but it wasn't a stray dog. This dog had a collar and everything. So it was protecting its property or whatever. And that created a problem, and Victoria ran home, and that kind of aborted our day.
Yeah.
So, and look, to be fair, we see lots of people walking their dogs here.
Yes.
Lots
of little dogs.
Lots of little dogs. I saw several little dogs today being walked. But I don't know. I would say just be prepared to pick your dog up if it's small.
And if it's not, be prepared to pick up a big dog.
Yeah, make sure your dog takes karate and knows how to defend itself.
I mean, I see people walking big dogs too. I think it's just making sure that your dog is also trained to, not bark and be super. I don't know. Dogs are unpredictable.
Dogs are unpredictable. So okay, after all that, we don't take Victoria hiking anymore. So I wouldn't recommend it. It's just it's another variable that can cause an issue.
Unless you have bear spray.
Then you're trying to hold on to your dog, and you're trying to maybe spray a dog that's coming at you, and then you can spray your own dog accidentally.
Maybe in a group, like if you have a group of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're by yourself with your dog.
Most people are only hiking in couples. And maybe 4 people. Like if you're in a big group, we do have big hiking groups here, but if there's like a. Like Adventure Pogradec, and there's a couple outfits here that do large group hikes.
Is it the tour guide where you pay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I wouldn't. I won't
don't know.
recommend hiking with your dog by yourself.
Yeah,
or
not
with
by
just a
yourself.
couple.
Maybe with a group of people.
Yeah, if you have a group of people, it's probably fine. You just want to make sure you can control your dog and deal with whatever threat you have.
Which is unlikely to happen, but it could happen.
Yeah, so I mean, and like, look, we're just kind of comparing. So, like, if you're in the U.S., this is not something you ever even think about. You don't run into stray dogs in the woods.
But you can run into other stray animals.
You can run into bears and things like that.
Yeah.
But usually, your dog's going to bark at them and they're going to run off. Whereas sheep herder dogs are going to be attracted to your dog. They're going to be running. They're going to see it as a threat.
Yeah.
So that's nothing I have ever had to deal with in the United States hiking. And it is something you have to deal with here. And it's something you have to be very mindful of. My personal recommendation is don't take your dog hiking here. I'm sorry. That's just what I would say. It can turn into a problem unless, like Andrea said, we got a group of people.
Say in a
You
group.
know, 4 or 5 people, and somebody can pull the dog behind the group, and then a couple of people can make sure that you don't have an issue with the herding dogs.
I mean, that's what we always do when we hike. We always have somewhat of a plan just in case, like how we're gonna handle it.
But we've definitely, like, we used to take Victoria hiking. We just don't anymore because it creates an issue. It's one more potential thing that can cause a problem. So you have any questions or comments there?
Nicole's here. Thanks for joining us, Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
Dan, good to see you. Tim, Shelley, good to see you. Mary, Jack is here. Good to see you.
Hey, Dad.
Nicole says, hello, friends. Are ticks a big problem in the spring? So we did cover that, but I don't think she was here yet.
Yeah, no, we haven't ever had any issues with
and
ticks.
Thank you. Craig got me the necklace.
No, we've never had an issue with ticks. There are ticks here that if you do have a dog here, that's something that you're going to want to protect your dog against, ticks.
And the dogs do get them, but people not so much.
I've never gotten a tick here, and we have done lots of bushwhacking. Like some of the trails we've hiked on, like we did one where we were on the trail, but it hadn't been hiked in a long time, and it was like you could just barely discern where the trail was because there were lots
times where there was no trail.
Cross branching.
Off trail.
And there were times where we were completely off trail, and we just walked like straight through all the bushes and stuff, and never gotten a tick or anything like that. So it's nothing I would be concerned about. But you might want to, we'll talk a little bit about prepping for a hike here. One thing you might want to always do is bring just bug spray because we do get bugs. We get mosquitoes.
We have never brought bug spray with us.
I put bug spray on.
Have you?
Yeah.
I am actually really surprised at how little we get bit up. I mean, with us bushwhacking the way we've had, I'm always expecting to be covered in bug bites by the time we get home, and I'm not.
Yeah, it's not too big a problem. I had much bigger problems with bug bites in Maine.
I had much bigger problems in Ohio and definitely Florida.
But it's one of those things. It wouldn't hurt to have some bug spray with you if you get into a situation where there is a lot of gnats and biting insects, although it's not very common.
Not that bad.
Dan says feed the algorithm like this video. Thanks, Dan. We appreciate your support.
Dan.
We appreciate all your support, everybody.
Appreciate it when you guys say that because we never think to ask for people liking our videos.
Something more important than bug spray, though, would probably be sunscreen and some kind of shirt and hat because
it gets toasty.
It gets very toasty, and I come from the Northeast where you can hike all day. You don't have to think about that because you're in the woods. It's shade. There's trees. A lot of the hiking here, you'll be out in the open.
Yeah.
So we do have lots of woods, but especially like Maliathate, we were just talking about the big mountain. Half of it, or maybe even three quarters of it, is alpine. So you get above the tree line and you're just exposed to the sun for hours while you're hiking. And there's no once you get above the tree line on Maliathate, there's zero cover. Unless you duck behind a rock or find a little cave. You're just going to be in the sun. And so wearing a good hat, having a good sun shirt, bringing some sunscreen,
water, and electrolytes.
Yeah, and that's going to be the next thing would be don't ever go hiking here without water, especially in the summer.
Oh my gosh, one time I brought tons of water and no electrolytes, and that was the Mount Dottie. That was a bad day.
Well, you had issues on Maliathate once. You went hiking up there by yourself, and you got into a situation where you got really dehydrated.
Did I?
Yeah, you didn't make it to the top, remember?
I was fine. It wasn't like the Mount Dottie experience where I had all that water and I got really weak because I was just chugging water all day. I didn't eat, didn't have any electrolytes, and it was like 96 degrees.
Well, it was fine because you quit the hike. Like if you would have kept going, it would have probably not been fine. Like you didn't finish it. Like you turned around because you like were having an issue.
That was fine.
So
I get myself into some situations.
Yeah, don't get yourself into these situations.
Yeah.
Always bring water.
And
Always bring
electrolytes.
shade of some sort, whether like a sun shirt, sunscreen for your hands and stuff. But you will get exposed to an enormous amount of sunshine. It's the Mediterranean, so you have to. You know, you're not in the Northeast. You're not even in Florida where you have like all the pine trees. You're going to be out and exposed to a great deal of sunlight here. Imagine like hiking in California or somewhere like that, where there's you have a mix of trees, but you also have a lot of open territory, and that's how it's going to be. There's a lot of scrub brush kind of environment here. Lots and lots of open sky, and that's like you can really get yourself into trouble if you think you're just going on a casual hike and you don't bring water and you don't bring sunscreen or a hat.
I've gotten myself into trouble.
Andrea gets herself in trouble. Don't be like Andrea. Come prepared.
I am always a really good example of what not to do. Yeah. I've been lucky. I've made it through some stuff.
Well, I always go hiking with her now to keep her safe. So I got the bear spray, I got the sunscreen, I got the hat. I am always on you. Like, you need to bring a hat. Get a hat. Bring a hat.
There was one time I didn't want to put sunscreen on, so you snuck up to me like you were going to give me a hug. He tricked me, and he had sunscreen in his hand, and then when I got close to go kiss him, he smeared it on my face.
I did.
You did.
That's how much I care about her. Yeah. Gotta keep you safe. Someone's got to look out for you, babe.
And Jesse says I'm not allowed to hike by myself anymore.
Yeah. And like, look.
Fair enough. I mean,
honestly, nobody... It's like it's one thing if you're on a nature walk, like a pond trail or something like that. But like real hiking, you should never go hiking by yourself, and especially
if you're
here.
Me.
What's that?
Especially if you're me.
If you're anyone, don't come out here and think, oh, I can do it. Even if you bring water and you bring it could be in the backcountry here. It's not going to be like in the Smoky Mountains National Park, where if you slip and fall and break your leg or even just twist your ankle really bad, well, in an hour, somebody's going to walk by. There might not be someone on some of these trails for days. So if you slip and fall and hurt yourself in your body and you're alone, and maybe you don't have cell signal, you could just be stuck out there. And I have, when I was in West Virginia, I went on a hike once, and it was a short hike, so it wasn't super dangerous. But I twisted my ankle really bad, and I literally had to crawl like a mile off of this trail to get back home. And it's like, man, just imagine if I was 8 miles in, I'd have been really screwed. So don't come out here and go hiking by yourself.
And I mean, you're not going to get as far as I know, you're not going to get airlifted off these mountains either. I got into a dangerous snowstorm close to the Smokies on the Appalachian Trail. We ended up Jesse and I got off trail, but some people stayed the night, and someone ended up getting airlifted off the mountain because they were so cold. I don't think you're getting airlifted off these mountains.
No, well,
I don't think that exists here.
So I will give there is a caveat to that. So I have hiked here by myself, and it was in the national park in North Macedonia on Maliathate. But that is a well-worn trail. There's always other people on that trail. It's not like the ones I'm talking about here where it might be days when nobody's on it. There's going to be people on the trail whenever you hike it. I went up there and it was snowing, and I passed other people. And there's also a mountain rescue on that trail. So down towards the base of the trail, there's a shack, and they have a four-wheel drive vehicle. And beer and rakia and coffee.
Everything you need.
And there's always staff there, specifically to rescue hikers. So if you're in a place like that and you want to go hiking by yourself,
how would you contact them? Do they have a number you call?
I have no idea.
Huh. I guess that would be on your way in, find out what that number is so you can call them in case there's an emergency.
So there are places like that.
Also something we've never done.
Yeah, but there's always been two of us. It's always been.
Yeah. But
if you're by yourself, it's different. You should make sure you have some of these contingencies. Don't go on some of the obscure trails here by yourself. If you're in the national park and it's a well-worn trail and there are people hiking in and out all day, that's not that big a deal.
Yeah, that would be certainly safe.
Yeah, I think they're quite safe. And like I said, there's even a mountain rescue on that trail. A quarter of the way up, there's There are people stationed there specifically with equipment to take you off the mountain if you fall and hurt yourself.
Yeah.
So that's really nice. But by and large, you're not going to find too much of that, especially on any of the obscure trails. And like we were saying earlier, it's really easy to go on a trail here, and it's like, oh, no one's really been on it for a long time, and the trail gets overgrown. And that's when it's really nice to have Wikilocks or All Trails downloaded onto your phone with the maps pre-downloaded.
We need to get sponsored by them. We're not sponsored by them. We're just
we need to get sponsored by anyone.
Really, they've worked really well for us, but we promote them. I feel like they should sponsor us.
So you should always have a contingency plan. Make sure your phone is fully charged and you have the maps downloaded. Even if you just download Google Maps on your phone, which you can do, you can go onto Google Maps, so you can at least find the basics and like, oh, what's the closest village, and you can bushwhack your way there if you get really lost.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in an emergency situation, Albanians will help you.
They'll help you.
They're lovely,
even
wonderful,
without
hospitable people.
In a regular situation, they'll help you. So
they are so lovely. So that is the nice thing. If you could find a village or something, if you really needed help, they would help you. I am certain of that. Yeah.
And for any of the actual parks and places that are designated, there are paper maps available too, which you can probably order online or get in local stores. So, that's always an option as well. I always like to have a paper map and my digital map on my phone, backup.
You're really good about that. I just bring the digital map and just hope my shit always works. But yeah, that's a really good plan, is to have a paper backup,
and a compass.
And I always bring I don't bring that either. I have a compass on my phone.
You bring me, and I bring all the safety stuff to make sure you don't die.
Bring a Craig with you when you go hiking.
I got the bug spray. I got the hat.
Don't bring me hiking.
I got the compass.
It's funny when I was posting, like in the spring and the summer, I'll post a lot of hiking videos, and there's people that are always telling me, oh, hey, when I visit, I want to go hiking with you, and I'm like, do you really?
Have you heard the stories?
You heard the story?
You want to go hiking with Craig, not me.
Yeah,
I'll keep you safe. So, as a business, we could start a hiking adventure tour.
Yeah.
I can do history tours and hiking tours. And something we could do together. That would be fun.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's gonna be relying on you though to stay safe.
Yeah,
I'll just be there.
I have a lot of background in these sorts of things. So I have a lot. I do too. A lot of training and so forth, and outdoor safety, and so yeah, I'll keep you safe. Yeah. I'm one of those worst case scenario type people. So
and I'm the it'll be fine kind of person.
I'm a protective pessimist. And so I like that.
And I will get you in trouble.
Do we have any questions or anything? My dad says the kitty needs attention. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, buddy. Yeah, he's out cold. Yeah. Let's see. Nicole says she got a tick walking to the mailbox the other day.
Yeah, there's some places that are really bad that way. Fleas too in the States. I remember I lived in Florida. I went outside once and I was covered in fleas in like 5 minutes. It was awful.
Alessa Scrabble Buddy says she is not strong enough to pick up her 65-pound dog over my head, because we were talking about just be ready to pick up your dog.
Right. Yeah. Man,
I would say hike in a group.
If you can hike in a group. Other than that, I would leave your dog at home. It's really unfortunate, but that's the safest advice. Like I said, I'm being a protective pessimist.
I mean, walk them in along, if you were like here, or walk them in the park, or like Tirana has that nice park around their artificial lake, and then we have a nice walking walkway around our lake. There's other places you could walk them, but as far as hiking in the woods, only if you had a group, I would say.
So Dan and Michelle, if you guys are still on here, have you ever had any issues walking Valentino? They're friends of ours. They live up north, and they have a little dog named Valentino, and they take it hiking. So I'd be interested if you guys, you're still on, chime in and let us know if you've ever had any issues with stray dogs bothering Valentino, or if you ever felt like he was threatened in any way or anything like that. I have seen people here, like, we were saying, we see people walking with their dogs here all the time, just in town and on the beach.
Mhm.
But I have also seen a woman carrying her dog being followed by a stray.
Yeah.
Like, you were with me, I think.
Yeah, I remember that. And it looked like the stray was not being aggressive.
No, it just
looked like it wanted to play with her little dog, and she was just like holding it like.
But you might not want that. Like,
yeah.
You might just like, oh,
Right, because it's unpredictable. You don't really know.
So yeah, those are just some precautions. Any other questions?
No,
or
I'm
just
not seeing any questions. I hope I didn't miss any.
So yeah, I'm trying to think. Is there any other things for us to cover in terms of hiking here? Like I said, there's lots of amazing hiking opportunities. There's some really beautiful natural places. Lots of really great waterfalls, mountain peaks. Lots of well-defined trails, lots of goat and animal trails, and if you feel really confident, you can go off the beaten path. We do this all the time. We'll go off the beaten path, and we'll just find a path and take it. And
get lost and start bushwhacking and.
Yeah, but we always know, like I said, because of topography, we're never really lost. We just know we're not on like a designated trail. So I always feel pretty safe.
One thing. Having that bear spray on us always makes me feel really comfortable. But again, we've never needed it. But I think I will continue to use that. And I think one of the unfortunate things is you can't buy that here.
Yeah, you had to order it online.
I had to order it on Dan's favorite website, YouBuy.
Yeah, and they charge you. They charge you a damn fortune.
I'm sorry, Dan, that I told you about that site. But it was the only place I could find bear spray. So that's the good thing about YouBuy is like if you can't find something anywhere else and you really need it, you can't order it from other countries and just use that site. It's like a hub. You pay a ton of money for that, for the import fees and all that. So the spray was like $90 for 2 of them, but I ended up paying like $150 to have it shipped here.
Yeah. Oh, and like speaking of that, we do have European brown bears here, though I've never seen one or seen any signs of them being here. But technically, they do exist. And we also have lynx as well, Macedonian lynx. And
I'm really surprised with all the hiking that we've done that we don't see more critters. Like we never any snakes, never any bears. We keep hearing that there's bears.
Yeah.
But we don't see anything. I was hoping we'd see a lynx. I've been keeping my eyes open for the golden eagles and things like that.
I had a golden eagle around the house the other day.
Oh, did you?
Just yesterday. Was it yesterday I was talking to you on the phone? I was like, oh, an eagle just flew by.
Oh.
Yeah, I see a lot of eagles here. But I mean, part of my background is I'm a biologist. I'm a wildlife biologist. I'm also a marine biologist. But I started in wildlife biology, so I know what things to look for, and I've never even seen signs of bears. No tracks, no scat, nothing. But apparently they're here. There's even a bear crossing sign up the road leading over that. But I haven't seen. I've seen wild boar, but they were not in person. They were dead that someone had shot. Literally, it was on top of someone's Volkswagen. So I was going up in the mountains, and they were coming down, and this guy had this huge boar strapped to the hood of his Volkswagen, which he had clearly shot. So, and they, wild boar can be very aggressive, so you have to be careful about that. But I've never actually seen them.
Michelle says, no, some sweet strays want to make friends, but Valentino mostly hates other dogs and lets them know. They usually walk away when he starts barking. If I see a new dog, I pick him up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to cuddle with Valentino.
Yeah, Valentino's
Side
good
note.
dog. Yeah. So is there anything else? I'm trying to think. So, I mean, again,
do you have any other questions? Does anyone have any other questions about hiking here that we might be able to answer?
Lots of good trails. Sometimes they're not marked. Sometimes you can find them on WikiLoc. Sometimes you can find them on all trails. Sometimes at the more popular trailheads, there will be a kiosk with maps and a description and even some historical facts if there's anything particularly interesting on the trail. Some trails are pretty well marked and will have signs intermittently through the trail or painted blazes. Let's look at the Polish flag. She's like a red and a white stripe. But it is becoming more and more popular. If you do come here, you want to make sure you bring your own equipment. Like you're not going in town here. You're not going to find like hiking poles. Like so, I had my mom bring last time they visited. I had my mom bring hiking sticks. It's something I like to have.
I just saw hiking sticks for sale here in the most obscure place. Like I wasn't expecting. I'm trying to remember. I think it was Jumbo.
Oh, really?
You know how Jumbo, the one in Korcha, has
Yeah.
like this small little section of like exercise equipment? They actually
Right.
had hiking poles.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know how much they were. They were probably inexpensive.
Yeah, but if you're thinking like, oh, there's going to be like an REI, no. I mean, maybe in Toronto you'll find maybe a store or two that has like
But
sporting gear
not
and stuff
not
like
like that. Like pretty
Yeah, but it like and
pretty amateur stuff, to be quite honest. Like
yeah,
not like REI, not that type of selection.
right.
You'll
So
find a sleeping bag or some poles or something.
I recently just got some new hiking gear, but I got it all offline.
Mhm.
So I got a new backpack, tent,
From Temu?
sleeping bag. Yeah, I think all on Temu.
Yeah.
Stop shopping like a billionaire. We'll reach out and sponsor us if you'd like Temu. I also got some solid state hard drives that were counterfeit and did not work off Temu. So like buyer beware. They refunded me for them. So
Yeah. Michelle says, have you ever considered using an emergency satellite recovery system like Garmin or Spot?
No. Great thing to have if nice thing to have. I've never been anywhere where I felt I was far enough out that I had to worry about that. If you wanted to go really deep backcountry and like some of the more, like if you wanted to go up to Voskopoja and then keep going and going and going and really go up into the mountains where you're really away from it all, and there isn't a village anywhere nearby that you could get to, then that would probably be a really good thing to
it's
have.
something I've thought about getting. I also was like, well, in the States, you have this little emergency call, and that's how you can get airlifted, which is really cool. And like I said, I know it's going to come and get you here, but it would be really nice to have sometimes if we ever do want to go like way off the trail. That would be good to have. But yeah, I agree with the hikes we've done. I don't think it's really necessary.
No,
you're always close enough to some village that
we almost always have connectivity.
Yeah.
I mean, even when you get up into the mountains here and out into the hills, there will be lots and lots of villages that it's like I can't believe this village is even up here. But there's a lot of. I mean, this place has been inhabited for thousands of years, and some of these villages are very ancient. And we've hiked to a couple of them that had some old Byzantine churches in it and everything. And people still live there.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like that one in Voskopoja that we hiked to. It's like it's fascinating and they're beautiful and but yeah, there's little villages just kind of sprinkled about the mountains here. Hey, buddy. Hey, waking up?
So yeah, it probably would be a good idea to have an emergency transponder, but it's not
we should get one.
I don't know how that would even work here. Like if you activate it, who's coming to get you? Like
no one, but at least you'd have like if our phones weren't working, you could still have the map.
Right. So our parents would at least know where we died.
You can find the body. Well, the other thing too is they're work like walkie-talkie. So if we got separated, we could still communicate. Like even if our phones weren't working.
I'm not letting you out of sight. Like you, like gotta keep you safe.
Let's see. Dan
carries an emergency whistle. Oh, that's good. We'll get you a whistle, babe.
What's that gonna do?
Well, you can like if you get into trouble and I'm away from you, I can come.
You just said you're
you.
not gonna.
Yeah, I prefer not to leave you out of your. I try not to let you out of my sight.
Yeah.
Although sometimes, like I'll be taking, I'll get really involved in my photography or videography, and you'll just wander off.
Yeah, that really makes Jesse mad too. I have a bad habit of wandering off.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I see a butterfly or something.
Yeah, I need to get like an air tag for you or something.
Yeah. Well, that's again, the Garmin things really are not a bad idea that way. Like, I mean, even if I just say, hey, I'm going to go grab some water, go use the bathroom, I'm going to go by myself. And then it's not unforeseeable to get kind of disoriented and get somewhat lost,
And the thing I worry about, and this actually did happen once where you stumbled across a dog.
Oh.
Hey, buddy.
When you were...
I was taking pictures and you wandered off and then like that dog with the herd of sheep like kind of like came at you a little bit. And
you got too close to those sheep.
You got way too close. You were trying to
There's a really good point. If you see sheep, even if everyone's just chilling, they're just sitting there, don't approach the sheep.
Do not approach sheep. Yeah.
That will upset those dogs.
And you might
found that out the hard way.
Or a herd of, like I've also seen a big herd of goats hiking, and it's the same thing. It's like you might not see the dogs. The dogs might be a half a kilometer away, and they know you're there.
Yeah.
So yeah, like if you ever come across a herd of sheep or a herd of goats in the mountains, you might not see the herder, you might not see the dogs, but they are very likely there and nearby. And you don't want to get close to those sheep. You certainly don't want to get between the sheep and the dog, and that could really end badly. You have to be really careful of that. These are issues that you don't have to deal with in the States or in Canada or a lot of other parts of Europe, but it is something you really need to watch out for.
Hi, Brad. Thanks for joining us. Some people who popped in a little bit later. Good to see you. Dan said so. You could use the whistle to whistle SOS, like I guess in Morse code, which is 3 longs, 3 shorts, 3 longs.
I mean, I don't know who would hear you.
No, 3 shorts, 3 longs, 3 shorts.
Yeah.
See? But he says you can hear it miles away.
Yeah.
I don't know if people would know what that was around here.
I don't think people would, but I mean, people might hear the whistle and investigate. I don't know. Like certainly couldn't hurt.
Couldn't hurt,
right?
Yeah.
You might whistle and have the shepherd dogs come after you for it. So yeah, who knows? Yeah, so I think we'll start wrapping things up here. Hello from South Dakota, Brad.
Yeah.
Sorry you missed a lot of it. Hiking here is probably, with the exception of the dog issue, hiking here is probably a lot like hiking in South Dakota, where you really do need to be conscious of the sunshine, the exposure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the other thing I did want to bring up is like it can get very hot. There can be an awful lot of sunshine. You want to make sure that you are prepared for that. You want to make sure you have water, but also at night, once the sun goes down, it can get very cold too. So that's something that something else you need to be prepared for.
That's something that's always kind of that's something to know about any kind of mountain hiking. It can be so hot during the day, so cold at night, so unpredictable. Like
Molly, we were up on Maliatate where we found that fort, and it was I think June or July, and you were freezing.
It was cold up there. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
And then wind starts blowing, and a weather front moves in, and I'm at several thousand feet of elevation, even though it's the middle of summer in the Mediterranean. It can get very, very cold.
Yeah, that was really surprising because it was so hot. We were cooking everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hot outside.
And then we're freezing.
And
luckily, because
luckily you brought a jacket and you gave it to me, so then you were freezing because you were a gentleman.
Yeah, that's the kind of guy.
Yes, thank you.
So yeah, I did. I gave her my jacket, and I just shivered the rest of the hike.
Not the rest of the hike. It was only while we were up
yeah,
there.
it was actually we did a little bit of a live stream.
We did,
and we were, especially because we were sitting still.
Yeah,
and we got really cold, or I got really cold really fast. You had my jacket, so yeah. you had a jacket too, but it was thin.
Yeah,
it just wasn't enough to keep you warm. And we came prepared, but like even in that situation, I was surprised at how cold it got in the middle of summer. I was not expecting that.
It was so
ready
hot.
for it, but I was not expecting it. So when you're hiking at elevation here, you need to be prepared for these things: sun, heat, cold, hydration. Really important. Really, really important.
And that particular mountain, like, it has these clouds that'll roll in really unexpectedly.
Yeah.
And like this hasn't happened where like it happened right above me when I was hiking that one time alone. So I didn't go into the cloud. But what would happen if that cloud hit? Like, you wouldn't be able to see.
No, that has actually happened to me up there. I was hiking, and it was either spring or fall, and there was a good bit of snow as well. And when you get to those elevations, a cloud will literally roll in on top of you, and suddenly you're in a very thick fog, which it decreases your visibility, so then you can get disoriented. But even more importantly, you get soaking wet really fast because of all the humidity. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That's a really good point. You always want to be ready. It's like hiking anywhere. You need to have a contingency plan for anything that can possibly go wrong. You don't want to do these things alone, by and large. Like I said, national parks are a little different. Lots of people hiking, rangers, all that. But, for most of Albania, that's not going to be the case. You want to have a partner. You want to have a map. You want to have a compass. You want to make sure you have plenty of water.
And if that partner's me, you want to make sure there's at least one other person.
You want to make sure you have a competent partner that has backcountry skills with you at all times, just to keep safe, right?
Alessa Scrabble Buddy says, are there places to get safe drinking water on the trails, or do you carry enough for the whole trip? So we have always carried enough for the whole trip. However, there are some,
Lots of mountain streams.
Lots of mountain streams.
I'd recommend a filter. Like
Yeah.
like they make a lot. Also, I don't like the tablets because they're chemical and they have iodine and so forth. But these days there are a lot of really good things out there that make really good small handheld membrane filters with a little hand pump where you can refill your water bottle.
Yeah.
And you know, chances are most of these mountain streams, there's lots of springs too. You probably could drink it and not have
You
any
probably
issue,
could.
but it's I would recommend the filter.
Yeah.
You know, it's always a nice thing to have. I don't like the tablets, but in worst case scenario, like carry those too. But we always bring.
We've always brought enough water. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is like its own issue because water's
It's heavy. Yeah.
But we always bring it.
Yeah.
And we have run out.
Have we?
Yeah, like at the end of the hike.
Yeah,
it's
there
like,
was one time where we did get lower than we thought.
Low, yeah.
And that's kind of the hard thing. It's like you don't want to carry all this extra weight if you don't need it, so you try to bring just enough, and then you run low. So then we end up bringing way too much because you don't want to run out on a hot day.
Yeah, and because it does. It might seem like, oh, it's nice, to sit outside, but then once you start hiking and you get it, and you're in that sun, it's like, oh my God, it's like 100 degrees out, and there's no cover, and it's blazing sun, and you're sweating, and because we're in a Mediterranean climate, the humidity is low, so you're sweating, and that it's just evaporating off of you, and you can dehydrate pretty quickly.
Yeah,
so it's something to be
but
really
so we brought tons of water just to hike up to the castle, and then we brought tons of water in the winter. We didn't touch it because it was so cold, and we just never got thirsty, and so we were just carrying all that extra weight. But it's still good to just have it.
Yeah, Nicole says she's got to run. Thanks for joining us, Nicole.
Thanks for
we hope to get
us.
to meet you someday in person as well.
Absolutely.
And we are gonna. I think we've covered everything I wanted to talk about: maps, safety precautions, sunscreen, water, cover.
And Dan says now you're up to a 50-pound backpack. Yep.
Yeah, that's like.
But I have a teenage son.
Yeah, sometimes we make him Sherpa for us.
Sometimes he does, and he likes that because he likes to go rucking, so he likes to carry the weight for the extra workout. Yeah, but that's also how he hurt his back. So
yeah, that's it. We talked about the dogs. We talked about the sheep. We talked about way trails can be well marked or not well marked, and
the weather,
downloading maps, and the weather, and all that. I can't think of anything else, and the fact that like the hiking opportunities in Albania are ever expanding.
Oh, and the views and the scenery, it's breathtaking. It really is a great country.
Beautiful. And
for hiking.
Yeah, it is. And today we were actually walking by City Hall here, and they have a new, not a jumbotron, but like a video monitor outside of the City Hall, and they were like our cat friend is acting strange. There was a video monitor outside of City Hall, and they were actually showcasing some of the local hiking here.
Yeah.
This is the first time I'd seen anything like that.
Yeah,
so
and I'm seeing really cool. more and more signs popping up to try to mark the trails. Yeah. So, I think it's getting better and better all the time.
Maybe we'll be the ones that open the outdoor store out here.
I really think we
Backpacks,
should. We'll carry the
bags,
bear spray.
Absolutely, we'll carry bear spray.
Yeah.
Or even I was going to say, if you're coming from the States, you could maybe carry like the mace, but they probably don't let you bring that on the plane.
No, I doubt it.
Even in your luggage,
and it doesn't shoot as
far.
That.
Yeah.
Like the bear spray, that's the nice thing is like it'll shoot pretty far.
Yeah.
So you don't have to get as close.
So yeah, everybody, we're over an hour now. Anyway.
All right.
So I think we've covered everything. If there aren't any, how's the cat? It's just kind of.
It's acting kind of
strange. Seems a little discombobulated. I don't know. Maybe it got into some alcohol or something.
I'm just wondering if it had. Yeah, it's like walking. It's real wobbly when it walks.
Yeah.
Maybe a little too much catnip or something.
Yeah. It seems cheery enough.
Cheery. He's in a good mood. Yeah. But, we'll give him some cuddles here in a minute.
But thank you everybody for joining us.
Thanks so much
we always love having you guys with us. We really appreciate it.
Can I plug my channel?
Please.
So if you're not subscribed to my channel, it is New Life in Albania, and please come on over. I post a lot of our hikes and some of our adventures. I also do some budgeting videos and some videos about cost breakdowns and just pretty much whatever we do, any little adventure we go on.
Yeah, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. I do history and a little bit of my life here in Albania. And I'm doing some real estate videos. If you haven't seen my latest real estate video, my friend that I rent cars from, Miro, he is selling his massive 3-story house. 2 floors are completed with really nice apartments, and the 3rd floor is unfinished, so you can do whatever you want with it. And it has an amazing flat rooftop with 360 views all around.
Yeah.
It's in the village of Goris, right up the road here.
Really nice place.
Beautiful. Right on the
huge
Macedonian
amount
border.
of space.
Huge
really
space.
Nice.
205,000. So
love all those balconies.
And it comes and he has a storefront. And there's an outbuilding on the main street with a store. So if you want to open a little store here, or maybe turn it into a cafe, whatever, there you can do that. So thank you, everyone.
Let's give the Europats and Dan a plug as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So Dan from Shenzhen also has a great channel, and he shares a lot of information about moving to Albania. And the Europats have a great channel as well. They've done a lot of research on Albania and France, and lots of good information.
Right. They haven't been here yet, but they are looking strongly at moving to Albania.
Yeah, and they do a lot of research, and probably have a live stream tonight. Do y'all have your live stream?
Yeah, chime in, Europats, if you guys are doing a live stream this evening. We did a live stream with them. Was it last week?
Yes.
And that was a lot of fun. So thanks again for having us on. We really enjoyed it.
All right, y'all. Not an Amir. Thanks so much for being here with us tonight.
Yeah, not
Thanks, Mary. Good to see you.
Thank
Good
you
to
so
see
much,
you,
everybody.
Jack. And Jack said to give the cat a hug.
Mom and Dad, hello. Thanks for joining us. Let's give the Europats a minute to chime in and see if they are still on. And if yes, they do.
1 p.m.
They have 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you want to, I don't know. Most of the people watching are in the US, I think, with the exception of Dan and Michelle, and they probably already know about the Europats anyway. So thank you, everyone. We love you all, and we really appreciate you joining us and supporting our channels, New Life Albania, my channel, Craig Zivas, Craig Z Media, and yeah, thanks a lot.
See you next week.
Not in a year.
Not in a year.
Europats at 8 p.m. our time.
Okay, great. Okay. So that's like
about an hour from now.
See you there.
Goodbye, everyone.